So I know for many of you, you are working from home, your routine has been mixed up, and if you're not working from home, you might be doing a lot more teleconferencing at the office. So this is to just take some time to take care of that neck, those shoulders, those hips. Sometimes we get lower back pain when it's right in those hips. So I'm going to spend the next half hour moving and stretching. So I'm going to have each of you find an active seat. An active seat is those feet planted underneath of those knees, those shoulders rolled up and open and sitting tall through the crown of your head. You're going to tuck your belly in just a little bit here, keeping it engaged, and you're going to settle into your body here. So you'll begin to bring that awareness to your breath. Starting to notice any sore spots, any areas of tension, anywhere in your body that might need a little extra love as we move through our practice today. And when I teach this class, I usually teach it in Laurel on Mondays. I ask everyone to take a minute to just think about their intention for their practice today. An intention is a way to think about your class and how you want to move through it. I invite all of you to set your own intention, and I'll set one for the group, and that's to move through our practice without judgment. Just observing where we are today. It might be different than yesterday or last week or last month. We've all experienced a lot of change in the last month, so it's very likely to be different. So creating a little space for that to happen. And each of you have stepped into our class with your own experiences, your own things that you've done in your day or your week. And so recognizing that I will make suggestions, and if your reaction to that suggestion is, haha, yeah, right, Jack, that's okay. Just listening to your body and moving it in ways that feel good for you. So bringing that awareness back to your breath, blinking those eyes open if they've been closed. We're going to start with those shoulders, and we're going to roll those shoulders up towards our ears. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together, and we'll press them down in our back pockets. We'll inhale, rolling them up. We'll exhale, squeezing them together and pressing them down into those back pockets. Waking up that shoulder girdle, giving them a little love. My students always get really annoyed with me because I have them roll their shoulders backwards, but we don't roll them forwards. And that's because most of our day we spend like this. So we're just trying to reverse that a little bit. Let's do that one more time, sitting tall here. We're going to take that right ear and slide it over to that right shoulder, stretching through the left side of that neck. Taking a breath here, and on our exhale, we'll roll that chin forward, sliding that left ear to the left. Taking a breath here. Exhaling forward. Right ear to the right. And on that exhale, we'll slide that left ear over to the left. And we'll do that once more on either side, rolling that left ear to the left, taking a breath there, exhaling forward, right ear to the right. From here, we're going to exhale, bringing our nose down towards those toes. So looking down at the floor, and on our inhale, we'll lift that chin up, looking up towards the sky. We'll exhale, bringing that nose down towards our toes. Inhaling up towards the sky. Exhaling down towards those toes. Giving that cervical spine a gentle stretch. Let's do one more, inhaling up towards the sky. Exhaling that nose down towards our toes. We'll inhale that chin up to center, so we're looking straight forward. Nose is in the center. We're going to take that nose and we're going to look over our right shoulder. We'll exhale through that center, look out over the left shoulder. Inhaling when you get to the right. Exhaling to the left. Taking a breath. Exhaling to the right. And once more to the left. Let's bring that chin back to center. And we're going to take our right foot and we'll kick it out and we'll draw big circles with our big toe. Going one direction. Listening to the snap, crackle, and pop of those ankles. Got Rice Krispie ankles like me. We'll switch directions. That toe circle, noticing that it gets a little bit more difficult. Let's take that foot and we'll set it down and we'll do the other side. So we'll draw big circles with that big toe. Remembering to let that breath go. Sometimes when things get difficult, we tend to hold our breath. It's hard to think that way. It's hard to move that way. Let's switch directions. That circle. We're going to set that foot down. So from here, we're going to take our left foot and we'll kick it out. We'll flex those toes in towards our shin and we're going to keep that knee active. Active means that it's unlocked. We have a tendency to hyperextend that knee when it's unlocked. And from here, we're going to sit tall in our chair and we'll forward fold at those hips down towards those right or those left toes. Now, when you go to do this, your calf and your hamstring are going to start talking to you. So listening to your body and going only as far as your leg will allow. We're going to inhale and come up part way. We're going to exhale back down towards those toes. Inhale up part way. Exhale down towards those toes. Inhale up part way. Exhale back down towards those toes. For a few breaths. And on your inhale, you're going to come back up in that chair, plant that left foot down, send that right leg out, flexing those toes in towards your shin. Knee is active and unlocked. We'll forward fold at those hips, reaching down towards those toes. If you don't make it to your toes, that's okay. You might end up on your thigh. You might land on that shin. We're going to inhale, come up part way. Exhale back towards those toes. Inhale up part way. Exhale back towards those toes. Inhale up part way. Exhaling down for a few breaths. From here, we'll inhale, coming back up. And we're going to walk those hips wide. So we're going to come into that straddle stretch. Making those legs big and wide, keeping those feet planted beneath those knees and sitting tall here. And sometimes when we sit in our chair, we tend to just flop. We're going to go ahead and keep that engagement. So you're going to hug those legs inward. You're going to tuck that tail down towards your tailbone. You're going to hug your belly and you're going to sit tall through the crown of your head and releasing those shoulders down. And from here, we're going to inhale, reach those arms up. And we're going to exhale, forward fold down towards the floor. If you don't reach the floor, you can touch those palms to your shins. If you do reach the floor, you can press those palms to the floor. Wherever you are, you're going to take that left palm and walk it over to that right ankle. And you're going to take that right palm and plant it on that right hip. Coming into a twist. On your exhale, you'll release that right palm down. Slide that left palm back across and bring that right palm to your left ankle, left palm to your left hip, stacking those shoulders, breathing here. We're going to exhale, release that left palm back towards our center, right palm back towards the center. Remembering those palms can be on those shins. We're going to inhale, come up halfway. We're going to exhale back down towards those toes. We're going to inhale, come up halfway. Exhaling down towards those toes. And this time we're going to squeeze those glutes, hug that belly, and lift ourselves tall. So keeping those legs engaged, hug towards our center. Bums are tucked. Belly is lifted. We're going to reach those arms up. We're going to exhale, bring those arms to a W. We're going to inhale, bring those elbows, forearms together. Exhale, bring those palms to center. We're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale, bring those arms to a W. Inhale, bring those palms together. Exhale those elbows out. We'll release those arms down and we'll do that once more. Inhaling up. Exhaling into that W. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Bringing those palms together. And releasing those arms down. Let's heel toe those feet together. And from here, if it feels good to you, you can cross those palms and lift yourself up out of the chair. You're like, yeah, right. Use those hands, press yourself up. And we're going to step to the backs of our chairs. I'm going to rotate mine so that you guys can see me, but you can stand wherever is good for you. So from here, you're going to walk those feet out about a torso's distance away from that chair, and you want your feet about hip distance apart, which is 2 fists or wider. That's going to give us a nice strong base. So from here, we're going to exhale, and we'll put a little bend in those knees, and we'll bring our forehead towards the chair. Our back is long and flat. If this is hard on your hamstrings or your calves, put a bend in those knees. In fact, we're all going to bend one knee, and then the other, breathing here. This is our half dog. And on our next inhale, we'll put a little bend in those knees, squeeze those glutes, and lift ourselves up, stepping forwards towards our chair. From here, we're going to take that right foot and step it back behind you. We're going to plant that back heel into the floor. So my stance is pretty wide. If you need to be a little bit closer, do that, take care of your body. And you're going to stand tall here. So wherever that back leg is, you're standing tall. And from here, you can have those palms on your chair, or you can bring them to your hips. You're hugging those legs inward, stretching through that hip flexor. From here, we're going to straighten that front leg. And again, remember we want those active knees so they're unlocked. And we're going to forward fold at those hips, bringing our forehead down towards the floor. Breathing here, or towards that chair. On your next inhale, squeeze those glutes, lift yourself tall, and we'll step those feet together. And we'll give those hips just a little wiggle. Giving them a little love, making that stance active once again. Feet are at least hip distance apart. Tail is tucked. We're standing tall. We're going to take that opposite leg and step it back behind us. Bend in that front knee. Back heel is engaged. Breathing here. Palms can be on your chair for balance. They can be on those hips. Wherever feels good for you, breathing here. On your exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg, keeping that knee active. We're going to hug that belly and forward fold at those hip creases, bringing our forehead towards the chair. Breathing here. Inhale, squeeze those glutes, come up. We'll step those feet together, giving it a little wiggle. And let's step those feet back, giving yourself just a little bit more room here. And make those feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. And we'll send those hips back, forward folding at those hip creases, stretching through those shoulders. So that neck you can allow to hang between those biceps. If you need a little stretch through those hips, you can bend one knee and then the other. Breathing here. Noticing those sore spots, those areas of tension, those places that might need a little extra love. You might need to stay on one side a little bit longer. From here, we're going to put a little bend in those knees. We're going to squeeze those glutes, lift ourselves tall. We're going to exhale back. Inhale, lift. Exhale back. Inhale, lift once more. And this one will stay back for a few breaths. Put a little bend in those knees, squeeze those glutes, lift yourself tall, step those feet forward towards your chair. And from here, we're going to make our way back to the fronts of our chairs. Finding our seats once again. Let's take that right leg and we're going to cross it over our left. And you want your thighs to be close together, so wherever they end up is fine, but more of a closed hip than an open hip. Let's take that right palm and plant it on that left knee. We're going to open our chest to the left. And with each inhale, we're going to lift a little bit taller, and with each exhale, we're going to open our chest just a little bit more. And on your next inhale, you'll release your chin forward. You'll bring that left palm around and you'll release that left foot back into the floor. And we'll switch sides. If you're going the opposite direction, that's okay. Just switch sides when we switch sides. We're going to take that left palm, plant it on that right thigh. We're going to stack tall through that spine. We open to the right. Inhaling, lifting tall. Exhaling, open. Exhale, release that chin forward, bringing our bodies back around. We'll plant those feet back into the floor. And from here, we're going to take that right leg and we're going to open it to the right. We have kind of a wide-legged 90-degree angle here. We're going to take that right leg and kick that heel out, flexing those toes in towards your shin, keeping that right knee active. We're going to bring our torso over that left hip, and we're going to bring those palms to center, sitting tall here. From here, we're going to take that right palm, slide it down that right leg, stack those shoulders. You can plant that left palm on your left hip or you can send it up towards the sky. Let's exhale, releasing that left palm down. Inhaling that right palm up. We'll bring that left heel back underneath that knee and we'll rock those feet back to center. From here, we'll take that left side, sending that hip open. We'll send that heel out, flexing those toes in towards your shin. We're going to come back to center, sitting tall here, and you can bring those arms in, that heart center, breathing here. Remembering those legs are active, so your toes are flexed towards your shin, and you're hugging those legs towards your center, even as we're pressing that left leg open. Let's take that left palm, slide it down that left leg. You can bring that right palm to your right hip, stacking those shoulders, or you can send it up into the air. Exhale, release that left palm, right palm down, left palm up to your hip, sliding that left foot back underneath that left knee and walking it back to center. From here, we're going to come into a pigeon. So if you've had hip surgery or any sort of joint surgery, listen to your body and remember your doctor's recommendations. We have a couple options here. So option one is to take that left foot, cross it over your right at your ankles. You can stay here, you can bring it up your shin, or you can bring it up to your thigh. If you are like, yeah, no way that is happening, you can take that left foot and open it to the left. It's going to be the same stretch, it just looks a little bit different. So finding that modification for you, wherever feels good for you, we're going to sit tall here. And even if that hip is open to the left, we're still going to forward fold over that right thigh. Breathing here. And on your inhale, we'll come on out of that and we'll bring that left foot back beneath that left knee in front of us. And we'll try that on the other side. So you can have those ankles crossed on your shin, up on that thigh, or open to the left, to the right. So whatever feels good for you, finding your modification, what's going to work for your body this afternoon. And on your exhale, we're going to forward fold here. Folding over that left thigh. Let's release that right foot back down into the floor. And from here, we're just going to take a minute and stretch in whatever way you think your body still needs. So if you need to roll those shoulders, if you need a full body stretch, maybe those hips need a little more love, just taking a minute to give those hips, that body, the stretch that it needs. And from here, we're going to find our Shavasana or our final resting pose. So once you have each side even, find that comfortable seat in your chair. We'll plant those feet beneath our knees. If your chair is a little taller, you might need to scoot forward so those feet can be on the floor. If you're okay with those feet hovering, that's okay. Finding whatever's comfortable for you. We're going to walk those shoulder blades in towards our spine. We'll tuck our chin a little bit lower than our forehead, and we'll begin to bring our awareness to our breath here. Just taking a minute to slow down Settle into those bodies. And as you breathe here, notice all the parts of your body that are connected to that chair beneath you. And with each exhale, sink a little bit deeper into that support beneath you. If your last few weeks have been like mine, you've been spending them reacting or responding to the change around you. We're just going to take a few minutes to allow our bodies to be. Notice your brain start wandering, the next thing, the next place. Allow those thoughts to pass you by without judgment. Observing that breath. Observing that connection of those feet to the floor. Noticing that support. Allowing expansion with each inhale, filling that body. And releasing your body into the support of that chair with each exhale. With your next inhale, you're going to begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rolling those ankles and those wrists. And on your exhale, you're going to allow your body to round forward over those thighs, setting those forearms on those knees, allowing that spine to round. We're going to take a few deep breaths here. Thanking our bodies for all they've done for us today. Carrying us through our practice, our week. And when you're ready, we're going to press those palms into those thighs, pressing ourselves up into that comfortable seat. And traditionally, we end a yoga class with the call and response of namaste. You're all on mute, so if you respond, I won't know, and you don't have to worry about sounding funny. But one interpretation of that word is that the little light of goodness in me sees the little light of goodness in you. So feel free to participate. We'll allow all of our breath to leave. We'll inhale those arms up, gathering in all that is good. We'll exhale those palms to our heart center, sending good out into the world. Namaste.
Thank you, Jackie, for leading us through that. I didn't realize I had so many tough little spots in my back of my neck. I do have a poll that is opening up now. So go ahead and you can start responding to those questions that we asked you. You can also take yourself off mute if you have any questions for Jackie. I know I do. One of the things that I have been thinking about is when I'm on that conference call, is there anything that we should be thinking about doing? How should we be sitting in that kitchen chair that we have as opposed to our desk chair that we may be used to using?
That's a good question. I think kind of being intentional in how you're sitting. So at the kitchen table, that those armrests are just right to set our elbows on and lean forward over. And so being intentional in hugging that belly and sitting tall in that chair, as I see Tara lean back, open open those shoulders and type with those arms forward, just like we do at our desks at the office. The thing about our office is that those chairs are designed to put our bodies in that position, so we don't have to think about it so much. And so just being a little bit more aware of that.
Mhm.
Also,
Thank you.
for that conference call, I know mid-call my shoulders start to go about like to here. So intentionally pressing them back down, noticing that creep.
So at the end of the day, after sitting at conference calls or at meetings or whatever you're doing, is there any one stretch that you like to do at the end of your day?
Oh, my hips get really tight, especially being seated most of the day. And so that pigeon in our chair, that hip opener that we did right at the end, I do that one probably every day. Even sometimes I'll even do it with my leg up on the bed and one leg back. And then the other thing I like to do is drop my knees towards my center. So here, I'll set you guys back up so you can see my chair and see what I'm doing. Um, so sometimes those hip flexors tend to tighten and shorten. So even lying down on the floor, you can do this too, but sitting up works. So keeping one knee planted, you'll take the other knee and drop it across your midline. So you're stretching across the front of that hip joint. And then the other side. I know I don't do that one enough because whenever I do, it feels so nice. And just moving from side to side there. Those are two of the main ones that I do probably every day. And if I don't, I should do them every day.
Okay. So if there's a participant that wants to take their self off mute and ask Jackie a question, feel free to do that. I'm going to show you a couple more of the webinars that we have. And tomorrow we have the program Starting Your Victory Garden. Oops. I think it's because I need to close the poll. One moment. Okay. So let me show you the programs that we have. Every day this week, we actually have a program at noon. So tomorrow we have Starting Your Victory Garden. And that's, oh, we've got a cat, I think. That's at noon, Starting Your Victory Garden with Patrick Mangan. And then on Wednesday, we have Malime Meal Planning, and it's an app taught by Haley Barker. She's the Extension Agent in Stillwater County. On Thursday, we have Alice Brennan, and she's sharing simple ways to support mental health. And on Friday, we have Shop Safe and Eat Safe tips during COVID-19, and that's with our food and nutrition specialists with Brianna Routh and Carrie Ash. And then next Monday, we have Creating Freezer Meals at noon by Katrin Finch, and she's our extension agent up in Cascade County. So with that, that ends our session. If anybody has any questions, here's your final chance to say anything. If not, thank you so much for participating, and we will be sharing this recording on the Facebook event. And you can find it through your extension office or through the MSU Ravalli County Extension. Take care and have a great day. Thank you.